A bittersweet ending, perhaps. It's been a long road. Honestly, probably like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. But this it could very well be the last Town Hall 8 video, coming at the end of it, almost maxed out. I would say probably 85, 90% maxed out for Town Hall 8. There's onesies and twosies defenses. And I think the biggest thing is our production stuff still isn't quite up to par, but I think we'll work a lot of that on Town Hall 9. We're excited to get to Town Hall 9 for sure, just for all the different strategies and things that will open up doorway wise. So that's why we're kind of pressing on a little bit early, but it's definitely not rushed by any means. Maybe a strategical rush, quote unquote, but that's also doubtable. And as we're showing off the different buildings that we have left, just kind of where those are at, as well as showing that we have no more defenses to build for Town Hall 8. They're all down. A mortar, a hidden Tesla, some of that stuff. And our Barbarian King has one more level for Town Hall 8. Time to start it all over. But before we get into that, we're going to look at our Builder Hall as well. We're at level 6, very rushed on this account. I don't even know what we're kind of doing with it. So I think one day we'll either do a video devoted to it or a stream. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. It's kind of like the Warships version of Boom Beach. A little bit less exciting in my personal opinion, but still not a bad thing. Kinds of different stuff. And I tried to move my roaster and I totally didn't realize there's a defense limit of sorts. So I learned something new today, but we might switch that out at some point, put that on the main or the stage one, and then put something else on the stage two. We'll see how I feel about it all, I suppose. But yeah, still lots to do on the builder base. We're kind of going to sit at 6 for a little bit. I know once we get to, I think it's 9 or 8, we can go for that 6th builder, but it's going to be a while. Kind of getting our offense all in place and trying to get our defense somewhat slightly up to par, but today's video is checking out all of our Town Hall 8 stuff, and of course this war that is so very close. I think we show off just about the end of it at the end of this video, and man, talk about a nail biter. It was a tight war, great clan to go against. We had a lot of fun, so we're kind of gonna do our video and focus on all the different farming that we have to do. We of course want to farm to get our Barbarian King starting to upgrade and a couple of our defenses upgrading. So starting off with kind of a weird army composition. I just tried this out. Not even a wipe with a little bit of Valkyries mixed into them, I guess you can call it. Some wall breakers to break the walls, and then our Barbarian King uses Quake Boots. So if we really need to get into that last compartments, that's what his ability is going to be for. Having a lot of fun with the Pikas, kind of a little pseudo tank, but some decent DPS. The Wizards are always a good fun troop, and then the Valkyries, we're just trying them out. I know they've received several buffs throughout their lifetime, if I'm not mistaken, so I know they kind of veer off a lot after Town Hall 9, so we're trying to get something out of them. We might try some different troop combinations in 9 and see if that's a possibility. I know they're somewhat tanky, okay damage, all that stuff. But there's the Barb King popping off that Quake Boots. I know a lot of you are probably like, what the heck? Who uses Quake Boots? I do. I think it's a fun ability. I know his Barbarian Rush and all that stuff is probably slightly better. And I know it's probably not the name for it, but I enjoy the Quake Boots quite a bit. We do still have the Rage Gem on him just to kind of keep him speeded up. I'm trying to burn through some stuff, but if you guys enjoyed that hit, and are you guys enjoying the progress in general, make sure you like the videos, subscribe to the channel. It's been having a lot of success and a lot of, I forget the word. What am I looking for? Looking for a word. Well, whatever the word is. I appreciate all that you guys have been doing, so continue to do so, and we will continue to put out those videos. Going into another 8 here, but for some reason, something in my body told me this person had clan castle troops. Oftentimes, you don't find clan castle troops in multiplayer, in my opinion, or from what I've seen at least, but I have occasionally found them in the clan castles, and unfortunately, it has ruined some of my hits because I just kind of got so used to them not being there. So this time we thought about it smart, threw in one hog to pull them out, and then we of course used our wizards and golem to kill that dragon loon combination so it didn't ruin our whole lives. Because with the goho hits, it's very important that they're not clan castle troops constantly hitting your hogs so that they can clear out what they need to clear out. You also want to definitely try to get that Barb King, enemy Barb King down if you can as well. If you're facing a 9, of course the Archer Queen is also super problematic, so the skeleton traps can be annoying, but I'd say the Barb King and the Archer Queens definitely kill your troops more than anything else, so. And you'll see possibly that happen during this hit, so. Our king kind of did a wonky walk that I didn't really want him to do, so he kind of popped off his ability, so he would do a little bit of a charge in the middle, hoping that he would get a little bit more value than what he did, and unfortunately that defensive Barb King decided to focus on our hogs, so Barb King didn't do his job. That defensive Barb King stayed up, and our hogs already took quite a beating, so we do still have a golem up, but that golem is not really in the right place. We did get a giant bomb there, and this hit kind of falls apart, which is unfortunate because for the most part we don't really have any issues when it comes to Town Hall 8s, but for some reason this base, maybe I just didn't look at it right or strategize right, kind of messed us up. And that Barb King and those skeleton traps are going to end up being the coffin, nail in the final coffin of us, I suppose you can call it. And there they go, all dead, only left to a golem, a simple 1-star. We didn't even get the dark elixir, which was the main thing that we're looking for in these hits. The golden elixir kind of just additional. We really want the dark elixir so we can start up our Barb King's 20th, as well as I think we have one more upgrade for our minions. So, and then all of our dark troops will be done, so. But that hit was past us. Time to move on to another one. That's right, we hit a Town Hall 9. Should make that total clickbait, but I won't because this is definitely not a maxed out Town Hall 9. This is probably a rushed at best. Maybe a basic Town Hall 9, but I don't think so. I think this player just maybe doesn't even play the account anymore, or decided they didn't want it to play a certain way. I don't know what the case was, but we can confidently say that, yes, we are taking on Town Hall 9s. This hit, once again, going back to that wizard Pika combination with a little bit of Valkyries, and it's pretty successful, I'd say, in hitting all Town Hall 8s and some, depending on the layout, Town Hall 9s, even stronger 9s, believe it or not. If the heroes are in the right spot, that we can kind of take them down early while the Barb King is still up and healthy, then they kind of just run through the base. You kind of have your wizards on the outside picking off some stuff. You have a few Valkyries that go in with that king to kind of burn through some of the close-up defenses and structures that might be close together, since they do splash in a certain sense. And then the Pika is acting as, like I said, a pseudo tank plus a decent amount of damage. So I'm having a lot of fun. I plan on using this troop combination a bit more even in the future. I know witches use Pikas sometimes in some of their hits with a go wipe, I think is what it's called. So we'll see how that goes. But like I said, I think that's more of Town Hall 9 strategies and things of that nature. But yeah, this is kind of just cleanup at the end of this video. I don't even know why we showed the last bit of this, but I know some people say there are effective ways to farm and do things like that, and sometimes it's all about just getting the resources and then getting out. You guys, if you know anything about me, we feel the need to 3-star bases. Even though we're not trophy pushing right at this moment, it just makes me feel satisfied when I see that 3rd star perfect. I know it's probably definitely not efficient to do it that way, but I don't farm every single hour of every single day, so why not get a little bit done? And there it is, our last minion upgrade for that Town Hall. Getting that started before we jump into another base. Don't want to waste y'all too much time with me sitting around staring at my base for like 5 minutes, because honestly, I do that probably more than I should. And for some reason, apparently I liked showing off this strategy a lot. Believe it or not, we did use a lot of goho in 8s. Pretty much all of our war hits were goho hits. I just wasn't confident enough that hits like this would be effective. I'm not a fan of the filthy filthy dragon plays, even though I know it's probably the simplest thing to learn and execute for the most part. But for me, I like the more fun, more risky, kooky strategies and stuff like that, which is what you guys are going to see a lot of in this channel. Once we kind of get this game down to a science and we figure out all of the different pathing methods, we're going to be using all kinds of weird troops, stuff that you see those pros use, but in a very casual player sense, because we're going to fail a lot of them. But I feel like it's only fun if you do it a fun way, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been fun. Goho's been a great thing. This troop combination has been good. We've done some just strictly goees rather than having all goees. No, not goees. Peewees? We'll call them peewees. Peewees? We've done a lot of peewee hits without the Valkyries, and that's been pretty good. Like I said, I tried dragons when I first got to 8, and I just did not have fun with them. Sometimes they would even fail just because they're so dang slow, even though I know it's probably the most easily 3-starable thing for the most part. But as you can see, you don't really need those kind of strats, and that's a decent amount of Dark Elixir for an 8, which ironically enough is where a lot of our Dark Elixir was found, as we're about to show right here. Town Hall 8s just had a decent amount for the level. It's funny because yesterday or the night before when I was doing my farming, pretty much all I found in matchmaking was Town Hall 9s, and I was even lower than I was now, probably still in Silver League or just touching Gold League, and I just could not find any Town Hall 8s that had like a decent amount of Dark Elixir, which is, as you guys know, at these levels, just the hardest thing to come by. I know as you get higher, it feels like you have too much of it, but right now we could use a lot of it, more of it, and that's kind of nice that this video it managed to pull out that way. So quick boots going into that base, using kind of a nice little kill squad here. I know for a lot of goho attack strats there is a kill squad and the whole circular pie formation, stuff like that. I find some success with it sometimes, just depending what it is. I'd say it's a lot easier now that we have quake boots, but sometimes I found it to be hard to finally get inside those compartments of those bases. So, but here's a prime example of what probably is the best type of goho hit that you can get, where they take out a decent portion, then you start your hogs off on a different part of the base, kind of in a circular counterclock or clockwise manner. So, and that's what they do here, taking out the rest of those defenses while getting sprung up like crazy. But still a decent amount left, taking out those last few defenses. And we do think have a wizard or 2 left, so this will be wonderful. Oh, just kidding, it was just golems. Well, the hogs will still get the job done. The only time this can be a little bit sketchy is if you take too long on those bases, and then there's those corner builder huts. So if you can, always save an archer or 2 or a wizard to take down those corners so that you never time fail. Because that's the one thing we hate doing, is time failing. But yeah, these Town Hall 8s really pose no threats to us, with the exception of the first one that you probably saw in the video, or maybe it was the second one. I can't remember. That one got me, but for the most part, Town Hall 8s are pretty simplistic, and with the exception of like max Town Hall 9s, we can pretty much get all of our opponents down. Of course, we are very strategic about what we hit. We're not just hitting whatever comes to the screen for us, even if it has 4,000 Dark Elixir. Sometimes I just realize it is not going to be plausible to try to hit that base, but at this point I think we're just kind of hitting stuff to hit it because we can, just to kind of get it over with. But when I realized that this part of the video for some reason just has us sitting still, so what I might do right here is cut the video here, post editing, because I just realized this is not happening. And now we're back. I guess I had to do something, whatever the case was. So we actually cut it off that video early, or that portion of the video. Came back, and actually I didn't record this live, but I thought this was pretty cool. Once again, another Town Hall 9. I know, not super impressive. It's looks like a max Town Hall 9, but maybe not. And not to mention the base design was just absolutely atrocious. Had one of the heroes plus 2 of the expos on the outside, which was just beautiful for our little kill squad to get done. Once those expos and that archer queen is down, and that barbarian king being on the outside, you really have nothing to worry about. Town Hall 9s are just really Town Hall 8s with 2 expos and an archer queen. once you get those 2 expos and Archer Queen down, really Town Hall 9 should fall down to hogs the same way that anything else would. So this is a prime example of that. If you can manage to find a base that has the perfect layout, even at max, that can get you down those expos and that enemy Archer Queen, and possibly the Barb King, because he can be troublesome, you're going to 3-star these bases. So not every Town Hall 9 can be maxed, but I would say you can get decent amount of it, and with great elixir reward too. And I think that's about it as far as the elixir is concerned. I think it's time for us to finally get our king going. Like I said, this will be the last level for him at Town Hall 8. We're going to start the journey all over again once we hit Town Hall 9 with a new hero. But let's get that building potion going, and let's get into a couple more attacks just because we can. Here's another weird Town Hall 9. Like I said, we've had some odd Town Hall 9s today, whether they're progression bases or just dead bases or whatever these people are doing with their bases. We'll take the easy loot though. Like I said, 2,000 Dark Elixir, 4,000 gold is not too shabby. Although, after I started this attack, I forgot, even though I did it literally 2 seconds ago, the Barb King is, of course, upgrading. So, a little worrisome. I don't think I would usually attack a Town Hall 9 if my Barb King or... yeah, I guess my Barb King. If my Barb King was down, just because he's kind of a crucial part of our hits. But I figured we can probably still get this done, believe it or not. Even though it's a Town Hall 9, the base design isn't great. The expos aren't like in the center of the base, so as long as we can get the expos down, which is really the only troublesome thing, and the defensive Barb King, which I think we got down early here. The queen actually was upgrading too, so lots of good things that managed to happen in this base, which is exactly why I think even without our king, we managed to make it work. So once we get those expos down, it's just another Town Hall 8, you know what I mean? Although those giant bombs, that giant bomb scared me. Clenched cheeks right there, folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because that double giant bomb, I thought were gonna completely finish my army. And then we would have ended in a very sad moment. As well as those skeletons. Luckily they went for our golem instead, which is fantastic because he can tank that damage. And once we get the rest of these defenses down, our hogs will come back and smack them up. Unless our golem can get it done, which we'll see. Nope, they do help him out, so... good job, the golem, for doing exactly what his job is, tanking all that unnecessary damage so that the hogs can continue to run through the base. And they'll eventually come help him out, or maybe he himself can kind of deal with and finish those skeletons off. So it's kind of just cleanup at this point. But like I said, a lot of fun. I've enjoyed Town Hall 8. It's been good, but I am super excited to get into Town Hall 9. I know Lalo comes into play. There's witches that come into play. The Archer Walk, which is probably what you're going to see a lot of on this channel, because I just signed. That combination's so fun, and I can't wait to start practicing with it, so. But a nice little reward right there. But yeah, folks, this is probably going to be the last video as a Town Hall 8. I know, a sad moment for all. I too am sad, but I'm excited for the future. Town Hall 9, I think, is going to be a blast, and I think from here, it can only go up. All kinds of things are going to start opening up for us very soon, and I hope you guys are enjoying the journey. I know I am. And I will continue to play me some Clash, even though I know it'll take me 3 years to max out or something like that. Sometimes they say it's impossible to max in this game, but we'll see how it goes. We shall see, I suppose. But you want to know what, guys? I have a feeling. I'm thinking. I'm feeling good. Should I do it? As always, I am the resident dweller of the Underworld, the casual player's player, the David to max player's Goliath. And will I upgrade it? Dark Anubis out. Peace.